I think we can all agree we want to see an end to the violence in the Middle East. There's no debate around that. And I celebrate the freedom of expression that we continue to have as Canadians to speak up and express our concerns, our fears, our desire to see a solution. Canada is unequivocal in the work we're doing on two levels. One, to try and contribute to an end to the violence and a peaceful resolution in the Middle East, both in the short term, medium, and long term, which is why we continue to be committed to the two-state solution, even more so than ever before. But the second responsibility, which is fundamental for any Canadian government, is to keep Canadians safe. To have Canadians remember who we are. We are not a country who paint hateful symbols on our neighbors' homes. We're not a country who make Jewish kids going to school feel unsafe to publicly mourn the hostages and their dead relatives. We're not a country that attacks with vile hatred someone proudly showing their Palestinian roots or waving a Palestinian flag. This country was made by people who came from every part of the world, partially because they could be safe here in Canada. Because we could live beside neighbors who are totally different from each other and know that even though we may not agree on politics or on specific issues, we all agree to live together in respect and understanding and compassion. And right now, the horrific images we're seeing, the grief people are feeling, the fear they're feeling from around the world, here in Canada, causing Canadians to lash out at each other. Not only is that not who we are, it's not us living up to the responsibility we carry as Canadians. We are one of the places in the world that has figured out better than just about anybody else how to be strong, not in spite of our differences, but because of those differences. How to flourish in diversity. And if we can't figure out how to stop being mad at our neighbors here in Canada, who in the world will? That's the question that we have to be asking ourselves every day. Not always this magic solution or that magic solution said by a Canadian Prime Minister going to suddenly bring peace to the Middle East overnight. No, that's not what this is about. This is about us remembering that when a kid feels scared to go to school in the morning because of their religion, because of their ethnicity, that's not just on the government, that's on all of us to say it stops now. So my biggest concern is how we bring Canadians together. How we understand that the rise in anti-Semitism in our communities and around the world is not okay and is against everything that Canada stands for. And how we understand that the rise in Islamophobia in our communities and around the world is against everything we stand for. That's my focus. And I understand all sorts of people have different proposals on how we can make this done. But it starts fundamentally with listening to each other, not looking for easy solutions because there are none, but doing the work every day of reaching out to people who are different from ourselves and building the communities of empathy that we've always been able to define ourselves through.